Assalamualaikum. I am Bidi Mutakin from Expose Academy. In this video, you will learn how to turn an AI-generated image into a clean vector icon using a free graphics software called Affinity. Why are icons important? Because icons help us visually illustrate a sentence or paragraph. With the help of icons, readers or viewers can understand the content that we created much faster. As an example, if you visit the IIDS Sahaja website, for your information, this is a school in Indonesia that I lead. You can see a great number of icons in the front page alone. There are 3 icons at the top used for curriculum categories. There are many more icons in the middle section representing various fields of design, and many icons at the bottom illustrating the advantages of studying at this school. Although these icons are different, they all share one thing in common. That is, not a single one was created from scratch. I also did not buy them from any stock market. I made all of them using free AI tools, but then I edited them further to match the website's needs. Because I edit all the icons with Affinity, my workflow from start to finish for making these icons is entirely free. You do not need to pay for AI credits, and you do not need to pay for expensive software subscriptions like Adobe. Let's say that we want to create an icon of a student reading the Quran because we want to symbolize the phrase Quran-based education. For this, we can create the following prompt. Create a set of 3 vector icons symbolizing Quran-based education. Each icon features a Muslim boy reading the Holy Quran. Flat design, very simple, medium weight black outlines on a pure white background. No face, no shading, no colors, and no text. I request the AI to create 3 icons at once so that I have more options to choose from later. Furthermore, I only use black and white so that the image to vector tracing process would be more accurate. Then, I also ask the AI not to display the character's facial features. Feel free to copy and tweak this prompt according to your needs. Once the prompt is finished, you can copy it to the clipboard. Next, you can open the Google homepage. Make sure you are in the AI mode. Paste the prompt we prepared earlier. Then wait for the results to appear. I think I will use the icon on the far left. If you are not satisfied with the first result, simply repeat the process until you get the expected outcome. Once you are happy with the result, just click the download button to download the image. Open the Affinity application, use the open command, then select the image file we just downloaded. By default, Google's free image generator, Nano Banana 2 Lite, can only produce raster images. That is why, if you zoom in, the image will look pixelated. To convert this image into a vector, make sure the object is selected. Open a vector menu, then choose the image trace command. Affinity will immediately display a preview of the trace result on canvas. You can change the image trace parameters in this window. Usually, I get good tracing results if the edge threshold value is high, for example to 90%, and the curve fitting tolerance value is low, for example to 10%. I think this looks good. To confirm, we can click the Apply button. At this point, the image has changed into a vector. However, everything is combined inside a group layer. To ungroup, make sure the layer is selected and then press Ctrl-Shift-G. Because the objects are now separated and no longer in a group, we can easily select all of these objects, including the white background, and then press the Delete key to remove them. Now, what makes Affinity unique is that the vector results from the image trace process end up stacked on top of each other. This is quite different from other vector software. As you can see, the black color underneath is actually large and solid without any holes. What we need is for this white area to become a hole inside the black area. To do this, we can first combine all the white shapes and then we use the subtract boolean technique to cut holes into the black shape. So select all the white layers. But wait, sorry. It turns out there are still black layers on top of the white layer, which are the text lines of the book. Let us combine these black layers first. To do this, we need to select the layers and then press the Add Boolean button. Then this black layer and this one, we can combine this also. Again, the process is basically the same. Select the layers, then press the Add Boolean button. After all the black layers are merged, we can focus on the white layers. The process is exactly the same. Select all the white layers, then use the Add Boolean command. Let's combine these layers as well. Currently, only 3 layers are left, and the white layer is in the middle. Now, to cut a hole through the white layer using the black line layers on top of it, the button we need to press is not the Add button, but the Subtract Boolean button. You can see that this creates a single white layer where the book lines are cut out. Finally, we select these 2 layers, then press the Subtract Boolean button. Alhamdulillah, now we have only 1 layer. If you are already satisfied with the shape of this AI-generated icon, well, you can consider it done. Just determine its fill color and export the icon. However, in this video, I will show you how to edit this AI icon to make it even better. Because at a glance, there is still a lot that we can improve. Before we continue, if you are interested in learning Affinity from the very basics until you can master creating vector logos and icons, then I have a great course for you. You can check the links in the description. Before we proceed, you need to know that from this section onward, you will need adequate basic vector editing skills. At the very least, you should know how to use the pen tool and the node tool. I cannot explain these tools in great detail because it would make the video too long. The first improvement we want to make is to remove the neck area of the student character. For this, we can use the pen tool. We do not want the pen tool to create a fill or a stroke. A quick way to set this up is by turning off these 2 icons at the top. Next, to make it easier to snap to the existing curves, we need to activate the snapping feature. Right now, we do not need to snap to the page. All we need is to snap to objects, especially to object geometry. You'll notice Affinity displays a yellow highlight when the mouse cursor snaps to the border of a vector object. Just click here, hold Shift, click here, then here, hold Shift and click here, then here, and we can return to the starting point. Once done, we can turn off the snapping feature for now. Press A to activate the node tool. Drag the segment downward. Drag it a little to the right, then slightly to the left. If necessary, you can also adjust the handle. Next, drag the segment at the top downward. Then, drag the segment on the right and then the one on the left. Once you are done, you can select the main layer as well by holding Shift and clicking. Then press the Subtract Boolean button. If you are still unsatisfied with the shape, press A to activate the node tool. Then simply move the nodes around the area you want to thicken or thin out. Next, for the hands, we will later mirror the left hand to the right side. So for now, we only need to focus on fixing the left hand. Still using the node tool, select these nodes, then press delete. We probably do not need this node either. Then double click on this handle to make the corner sharp. And let's move this handle. Alright. Next, we want to recreate the cloth line using the pen tool. Click here, here, then here. Press A, then drag the segment upward, and this one upward as well. Now, to prevent the corner from being too sharp, we can use the corner tool. Then drag this node to blunt it so it looks more like the other lines in the image. Once finished, we can select both layers with the Move tool. Then press the Add Boolean button to merge them. Next, we will fix the area below the hand. Press A, select this node, then delete. Select this node, make its handle straight, and move it slightly to the left. Then select one of these nodes, press Ctrl A, then delete. We can click once to create a new node. Then double click to make it sharp, move the node to the left. Let's adjust the node and handle here. Then double click this node to make it sharp. Click once to create a new node, double click to make it sharp, and then move it. Next, I will only be moving nodes around, so I will fast forward the video to save time. Alright, at this point, I have changed my mind. I think we won't be needing the text lines as they make the icon too complex. To delete all of them quickly, use the node tool, hold Shift, click to select one of the nodes on each of the shapes. Press Ctrl A, then press delete. Next, if you notice, this line of leg does not connect well. The nodes in this area should be positioned higher. We can click once to create a new node, then delete the old one. Click below to create a new node, double click to make it sharp, and move it up a bit. Let's move this one slightly also. Okay. Next, we want to create two lines so that the legs of the folding cable appear to have thickness. For this, we can use the pen tool. To create lines, it will be easier if we use the line mode. And to ensure this pen tool produces a stroke, do not forget to activate this icon. Then we increase its thickness, for example, to 3 points. Click and drag to create the line. It seems the line needs more thickness. Let's make it 4 points. If it still looks a bit off, you can use the node tool to move the nodes. Alright, let's activate the pen tool again. Hold Ctrl and click to deselect the previous object. Click and drag to create a line here. You can use the node tool again to tweak the nodes if needed. Currently, the last two lines we made are strokes, not fills. So they cannot be used in Boolean operations. To convert both into fill areas, we need to select them. Right-click and choose the Expand Stroke command. Because they have now become fills, we can select all layers and merge everything using the Add Boolean command. The final step to fix the shape of this icon is to mirror the left hand to the right hand. For this, we need a guide in a form of a rectangle shape. Use red or other bright colors, but reduce its opacity. And, sorry, we do not need a stroke color. Then, click and drag to create the area we want to duplicate and mirror. We need to find the line that is exactly in the center of the drawing. Alright, next, use the Move tool. Select both objects, hold Ctrl, and drag everything to the right while holding Shift to keep it straight. Then, right-click, go to Transform, and select Flip Horizontal. Now, to keep only the overlapping area and discard the rest, we can use the intersect Boolean command. Here is the result. Next, on the left side of the icon, we actually want to remove the right-hand area. So, hold Ctrl, Shift, and duplicate this box to the right. Turn on snapping, and slide it while holding the Shift key until a green highlight appears. Let's check again to see if it is correct. Okay. Next, we can discard the one on the left. We can use the red box on the right to punch a hole through the icon shape behind it. For this, we can use the subtract Boolean command. Once done, we can slide this piece on the right so it goes into the main drawing until we see the green highlight appear. Alright, as we can see, there are still many lines that look broken. We need to clean up the nodes of the inserted drawing so they align with the nodes of the main drawing. For this process, we need to use the node tool. This is actually easy because we are using the snapping feature. Simply move the nodes to the nearest nodes on the main drawing. Since there are no new techniques to discuss, I will speed up the video. Once everything is aligned, we can use the Move tool to select all layers, then use the Add Boolean command to merge them. After only one layer remains, you can determine its fill color. For example, orange, purple, blue, cyan, and so on. It all depends on website's color requirements or the project you are currently working on. If you want the document size to be more compact, you can open the document menu and choose Clip Canvas. To use this icon outside of Affinity, you need to export it to a more common image file format. For instance, if you want to edit the icon as vector graphics in other software, you can use the SVG format. Again, SVG is a vector format, not a raster format. You can also export it in WebP format if you want to publish it, such as on website, for example. Alternatively, you can use the PNG format if you want to edit it as a raster image with transparency in other graphics software. I hope this tutorial is useful. Don't forget to like and share the video. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum.